Hey, it's Tuesday, March the 24th of 2026. My name is Tom, and this is your ReadyCore Daily Brief. Today, medical redundancy isn't about buying duplicates. It's about building layers. We'll get to that in just a minute. First, let's get you up to speed with the latest from the RISAT team and your daily sit rep.
This is your AmCon Daily Sit Rep for March the 24th, 2026. Up first today, when overwhelmed by life's challenges, focusing on what is controllable can help regain a sense of personal power and improve coping skills. Simple actions like deep breathing, identifying things within your control, practicing grounding techniques, and engaging in physical activity can enhance resilience and emotional well-being. This approach allows shifting attention away from uncontrollable stressors towards tangible, proactive solutions. In other news, the Federal Communications Commission has banned imports of new foreign-made consumer routers due to national security concerns. This ban affects major brands including TP-Link, ASUS, and Netgear that manufacture routers overseas. While existing devices are unaffected, companies must seek conditional approval with plans to manufacture domestically. Users are advised to secure their routers by changing passwords, using encryption, and protecting guest networks. Turning to the weather, spring severe weather risks are rising, particularly in Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Although tornado reports may be fewer compared to last year, strong storms can still cause significant damage in populated or vulnerable areas. Early spring patterns indicate conditions favorable for tornado-producing supercells, especially along dry line boundaries. Prepare by identifying safe shelters at home, work, and school, maintaining emergency supplies, and monitoring updated forecasts closely. Next, nationwide supply chains are experiencing disruptions due to congestion and labor instability at major ports. Labor negotiations, chassis shortages, and uneven cargo flows are slowing throughput, leading to retail shortages with 2 to 3 week lags, price volatility for key goods, and manufacturing delays. Businesses are encouraged to increase inventory buffers, diversify sourcing timelines, and stay vigilant on lead time changes. Lastly, there is an increased threat of protests and civil unrest across the country, including anti-ICE and anti-war demonstrations in large cities. Situational awareness is critical. Avoid large crowds if possible, be aware of exits at any public events, and report suspicious activity to authorities or the RISAT team. Stay informed through active protest monitoring websites to maintain safety. Today's weather summary includes record-breaking heat in the Southwest to the Plains and Mississippi Valley, with highs nearing 90 degrees from Texas to the Ohio Valley. Strong to severe thunderstorms are possible Thursday in the mid-Mississippi and Ohio valleys. Rain and mountain snow are forecasted in the Pacific Northwest midweek, while the Northeast may experience severe thunderstorms and wintry weather by Thursday and Friday. Looking ahead, noteworthy events include an off-grid communication workshop on March the 28th in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, focusing on GMRS radio use during emergencies. Also upcoming are several regional campouts in early and mid-April across Alabama, Virginia, Florida, and Illinois, offering training and fellowship opportunities for members. Details for these and more events can be found on the American Contingency ReadyCore events calendar online. Members can access the American Contingency members-only site to get the full report and more in-depth analysis of today's stories, along with practical preparedness tips, training opportunities, and resources to help you, your family, and your neighborhood stay crisis ready.
By mid-morning, the Johnson house had settled into outage mode. The lantern on the counter cast steady light across the kitchen. Phones were plugged into a small battery bank, and coffee had even been improvised in the camp stove in the garage. Then Ethan walked in, and he didn't feel great. Nothing dramatic, just a little warm, slightly flushed, the kind of thing that happens all the time with kids. Emily reached into the drawer for the digital thermometer. The battery indicator flashed low before displaying a reading. It worked, but just barely. She opened the medicine cabinet. One open bottle of children's fever reducer, maybe half remaining, expiration date rapidly approaching. Again, nothing catastrophic, but the pattern was becoming visible. The storm hadn't created a problem, it had exposed thin layers. When most people hear the word redundancy, they think duplication, 2 of everything, double the gear. Well, that's not actually the point. Effective redundancy is layered capability. In medical preparedness, that means thinking in terms of systems instead of items. Take something simple like monitoring a fever. The primary layer might be a digital thermometer. If that fails, what's the secondary layer? Spare batteries? A second thermometer? A manual method of assessing trends over time? Then you look at treatment. If one bottle of medication runs out, is there another supply? Is there a way to obtain more quickly? Do you know the correct dosage without needing the internet? Then you zoom out further. Medical care depends on lighting, on communication, on power. If the lights fail and the thermostat or thermometer battery dies and your phone can't load dosage information because the network is down, the problem isn't the fever. The problem is system fragility. Layered redundancy asks a disciplined question. If this layer disappears, what remains? Primary system, secondary layer, sometimes tertiary. Not because you expect catastrophe, but because interruptions are normal. The Johnsons found spare batteries in the utility drawer. They located a second thermometer in the upstairs bathroom, one they'd forgotten about. Ryan printed out a basic dosage chart months ago during a training module and tucked it inside the medical binder. It suddenly felt less theoretical. None of these backups were dramatic or big. None required a large purchase. They were small, incremental decisions made before the storm. That is what redundancy really is. It is the quiet removal of single points of failure. It is the difference between feeling cornered and feeling composed. Backups don't eliminate the inconvenience. They eliminate the escalation. So today, pick one medical category, monitoring, medication, lighting, information, and ask yourself, what happens if your primary layer fails? Then identify or create a second layer. All right, tomorrow we'll widen the lens and look at redundancy in communications and power, the systems that quietly support medical stability during outages. Thanks as always for listening to the ReadyCore Daily Brief. If you're already a member, thank you. Make sure to check out today's resources on the members-only platform. And if you're not a member yet, it's really simple. Just head over to readycore.net to join the network and start building your resilience today. I'm Tom Rigsby. Stay alert, stay ready, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.